This is nice. This is nice. Oh, hey, how are you?
Good.
Oh, you know what? I need some help doing the weather. Would you want to help me out?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me 5. All right, come on.
Now, Hutch's Weather Kit, proudly presented by Luther Family Ford in Fargo, North Dakota. Here's Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson.
Without further ado, it's meteorologist Hutch Johnson. It is, well, Hutch's Weather Kit night. And joining me on the showroom floor at Luther Family Ford, Corbin. Corbin, step out here and let's learn a little bit more about you. First thing, are we related somehow? No, we're not. But we do have the same last name, right? Where do you go to school? Tell everybody where you go to school, how old you are, and some things you enjoy doing.
I go to Thompson Public School.
Okay.
I'm 10 years old, and
Good.
I like bowling, golfing, and doing video games.
What do you call it in bowling again when you knock down all the pins in one fell swoop?
A strike?
A strike. Give me 5. That's right. Okay. I like bowling. I'm just really, really bad at it because my ball usually goes in the other lane. I don't think that's right. Okay. Let's talk about the weather. Now, when you watch the weather, what's one of the reasons you watch the weather for?
To make sure you're safe.
Good. Making sure you're safe and you know a little bit about the forecast. I'm going to have you sneak over here with Hutch, and we're going to sneak back and we're going to talk about forecasting rain versus snow. First of all, you talked about this on the radar just a second ago. Here's a forecast map, and on that forecast map, what do you see in green? What does the green mean? Is that jello?
That's rain?
Rain. Okay, good. What's the blue stuff then?
Snow.
Snow. We're going to do that weather 2-step. You ready? How many steps we taking? Let's go 4. It'll be the weather 4-step for us. Now, we need to know, as forecasters, the ingredients for rain versus snow. So we know where to forecast snowflakes and where to forecast raindrops, because this time of year, we can have it anytime. Now, let's check this out. Here we go. Forecasting rain. How do meteorologists know? Let's talk about it. This is the weather map. That's a forecast map. It's got rain on here. It's got snowflakes. But how do we know what to believe? Well, it's important to know the ingredients for snow. What do you think you'd need to make snow?
Probably water to turn it into ice.
Water to turn it to ice. Loud and proud for me, my friend. Loud and proud, Corbin. What else might we need? Water and for snow, what would we need? Really not warm, right? We need it to be
cold.
Cold, yeah, that's right. So we need some really cold air, and we definitely need some precipitation falling from the clouds. The thing is, this time of the year, if you were to ride on a hot air balloon and you went up in the sky, what would you notice about the temperatures as you went up, would you guess? Do you think it gets hotter when you go up or colder?
Colder.
Usually it gets a lot colder, and that's why they don't let you roll the windows down in airplanes, right? And a few other reasons. What is freezing again? Tell everybody at home. Read this and point to it for me.
It's cold air.
Right. And when does water freeze?
When the air gets cold.
When the air gets how cold? You're doing great. Give me 5. You got it. All right. So part of telling folks about the weather is pointing. Now we're going to do that weather 2-step. We're walking over here. Now, snow can fall from the cloud. In a lot of cases this time of the year, most of what's in the cloud is snowflakes way up high, because if you were to ride an air balloon up there, you'd notice it's pretty cold. But the temperature below the cloud that the snowflakes fall through determines whether it snows and you get to shovel or whether it's rain. So temperature under the clouds is really super duper important. Okay, Corbin? Now we're going to talk about this. What if, and how do you think meteorologists measure the temperature of the air as we go up from the ground? Because it's so important in a forecast.
You probably maybe send a drone up there with a thermometer.
A drone with a thermometer. Believe it or not, we still use an old thing called a weather balloon. Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
So a weather balloon rises up through the atmosphere and it measures the temperature. Now, when it measures up at cloud level that it's cold and freezing, below freezing, and down here it's cold and below freezing, guess what we forecast? Point to it now. Tell me what we forecast when it's cold all the way down. Over here?
Do
you see that? It's going to fall as snow. So it starts as snow. It stays cold on its trip down to the ground. It's going to be a snowflake. You got a shovel. Now we're going to do the weather 2-step. What happens when we go outside and we notice that here on the ground, the air is pretty warm? Okay. But up top, it's cold enough for snowflakes. Then meteorologists forecast that snowflake does what as it makes its way through the warm air? What do we call it when snowflake turns from ice to water?
Rain.
Yeah, rain. It's going to be rain. Good job. So this is really important, and meteorologists pay attention to exactly how cold the air is underneath this. So once again, you get to be the weather kid and tell us, what do you see on this map?
Rain.
Rain is what color?
Green.
Green. Now point to an area where you see snow. Go ahead and point to it. And you know what? It's helpful if you point and use the monitor over on this side. But we're really looking back at the wall behind us, right? Okay, now go over here. Point to where it's snowing. Good.
Over here.
Sometimes the temperature is just perfect and we can get both at the same time. Have you ever been outside when it's raining and snowing at the same time?
No.
No? Well, it can happen. And when that happens, we call that a mix, and Hutch uses pink on there as a color for that. So, Corbin, you did good. Why don't you read to everybody at home how you can sign up to help Hutch do the weather? You can go where, number one?
At Luther Family Ford, 3302 36th Street South.
Perfect. And come during normal business hours. Where else can you go?
At hutchesweather.com /weatherkid.
All right. Super duper job. You did outstanding. So tell me a little bit to folks at home. Was this really, really hard to do?
Kind of.
Well, you know what? It's a tough job, but you did it and you did a great job. Do you know that? All right. You think you could do my job?
No.
Yes, you could. You could do my job. Okay, well, I'll go back to shoveling then. Thanks, Corbin. Give me 5, and I'd love to see you helping me do the weather right here on the showroom floor at Luther Family Ford. Until next time, ID. ID.
Oh,
Give me 5. That was fun.
yeah.
Rock and roll.